Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Anonymous Throwdown Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. Last Sunday, we skipped, so I think we're on episode 13, 12?
12. I think we're on
12.
12.
Episode 12, which is crazy. 3 months of doing the Anonymous Throwdown Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Make sure you turn on notifications, like the video. We are well over halfway towards becoming a YouTube partnered channel, so that's very exciting. Podcast is growing a bunch. So thank you all for tuning in week after week. Dustin and Marcel, how are we doing today, boys?
Chilling. Per usual.
Chilling. Good stuff. So I think top of our minds, the news, I think it was yesterday. Is that when it came out?
Yeah,
It was the day before. I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah,
And I actually,
me too.
My story is one that's probably not unique, but it will never leave my mind because two bad things happened in a row. So I went to go see New Mutants
Oh my god.
in theaters.
Really?
Yes. And it's shit, let me just say it. But I got out of the theater and I have like 10 text messages from different people. And like, that's never good. So
Yeah.
I opened the first one up
That's
for my
always
coworker.
bad.
I opened up the first one and it's just Chadwick Boseman is fucking dead. And like, my heart sank. So I went on Wikipedia to verify and boom, there it was. And like,
Right.
it blew my mind.
Me too.
No one saw coming.
I was in a hookah lounge with one of my friends. We were just sitting there like smoking and chilling. He's like, dude, Chadwick Boseman died, the Black Panther. And I was like, yeah, I know who Chadwick Boseman is. Like, what? He's like, isn't he like 40? And yeah, I think he was 41
He's
or
like
something.
43.
He was
Yeah.
43.
And it's crazy because he was deleting pictures, some of his more recent pictures. He was deleting them because he was receiving comments about how he people were saying like quote crack panther end quote, like saying that he had lost a lot of weight. You know, obviously people that like do cocaine tend to lose weight. So people were insinuating something about him, that he was like addicted to drugs or something. Dude
Yeah.
was literally on chemotherapy, had stage 4 colon cancer. And it's just a good reminder for people to not be fucking douchebags. But
Don't assume
I mean-
things about someone's personal life if you don't know what's going on.
exactly, he literally got bullied into deleting pictures and turned off comments on some of those pictures because people were making fun of him for being thin while he was undergoing chemotherapy. And it's very normal to lose weight when you both have colon cancer. That is a side effect of colon cancer and also chemotherapy. So anyway,
And also,
Yeah.
let's like not skirt past the fact that this man like had it for 4 years. He got diagnosed in 2016 after wrapping up Civil War, from what I know. He would do movies and then after that go on chemo. So the willpower of this guy to do that, to go to chemo, lose all that weight, and then just immediately bulk back up for some of his roles is
No,
absurd.
yeah. It's super inspiring. Like, just like everybody should take that as a note. Like, just don't let anything stop you. Like, he had that passion for making movies and having like a message out there for young African Americans and whatnot. And even through all that pain, he was still trying his hardest to do his best, and he really did.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
a good
Black
that's a great
Panther.
legacy.
Not even just Black Panther. I mean, he was Thurgood Marshall in that Marshall movie. He was in The Five Bloods recently. He did
Yeah, that one's great.
5 or 6 movies since getting diagnosed, and they were all hits back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know how many kids I see in my job where like they'll have a Black Panther backpack on, or like during Halloween, a lot of kids had the Black Panther mask, and it's like a lot of kids really did lose their role model when he passed away.
right.
Which is really unfortunate. We've never seen an actor in such a big role just pass away like that, just out of the blue. And in a way, it's just heartbreaking, really. That's all I can really say about it. It's extremely unfortunate. And the fact that he was 43 was nuts. It really shows that can get you at any age, no matter like your status or what you do as a job. It can just get you like that.
Yep.
So
Indeed. It's important to remember that nothing is guaranteed. No day is guaranteed, and it's important to be cognizant of your health and not obsessively so, because obviously this is a rarity for someone to die this young. But at the same point, it is something that happens all the time, and it's important to be cognizant of that. And yeah, it's terrible news, and that's really all you can say about it. It sucks. So
Yeah.
All right. Next, do we want to discuss DC Fandom very briefly? I know that Dustin doesn't want to, but I would. I actually really do want to know Dustin's thoughts on both of these games, especially regarding the Gotham Knights game. Dustin, I haven't heard anything that you thought about it. When you saw the trailer, what did you think?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried. And I think rightfully so. I'm of the mindset where if you're gonna make a game of a certain genre, go all out with that genre, right?
Right.
And the fact that it seems like kind of like an action RPG kind of thing really turns me off. With like all the statistic numbers and things like that. And like it's not a games as a service game from what we know. And that's awesome.
Oh no,
But
yeah, they confirmed that.
I don't want it to be super repetitive. The combat doesn't look super smooth, which is fine. I think I said this in a previous podcast where if they want this game to actually succeed, they need to change it up, and they did. And that's good.
Yeah.
I also remember in that same podcast, actually, I said the next Batman game would be a 4-player or 2 to 4-player online multiplayer co-op game with RPG elements, and y'all blamed me for it.
Did you really say that?
Blamed. Yes, I said if they want this game to sell and do really well, they're gonna make it an online co-op game.
And they did, yeah. It's 2-player.
So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. I didn't think Rocksteady would do it too, but I think Rocksteady's game is gonna be a little different.
Yeah, Rocksteady's game definitely is going to be different. Now, as for a release date, Dustin, a lot of people are hoping for early to mid 2021. What do you think in terms of a release window? You think they're eyeing November?
Yeah, mid to late. If it was releasing early 2021, we'd have gotten a release date. The truth is, with COVID, they have no idea. They just know that
That's
2021 is the general release window. It's just workflow gets stunted when everyone has to work from home. And this is a huge studio with thousands of people that they need to keep track of. Just even on a business side, it's a lot of logistics. But I'd say mid to late. I think early is a little too hopeful. If it was early, we're only 6 months away from the first quarter of 2021 being done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think they're releasing within 6 months. But I'm hoping for mid to late.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get delayed. And I think Rocksteady's game actually will come out early 2022.
Oh, you think so? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they say spring? I thought they said I swear they said did they say spring or fall 2021 or did they just say 2021?
I think it was just 2021.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they probably did that with or Rocksteady. I swear Rocksteady said early, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I mixed them.
Yeah, no, that's just 2022 flatly, and we know that it's a next-gen exclusive game.
Yeah.
Which is also good. It's also really bad in the sense that Rocksteady only released one game this generation. They need to speed up their workflow. They have Rockstar level, stagnation going on. And I mean, I can almost guarantee that comes from a canceled project or two. There's no way they've been working on Suicide Squad for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that, but that's just how things go in the game industry. It's really unfortunate for WB that 2 of their flagship studios have just not done anything for 5 to 7 years in the times that their projects are getting released. I mean, for WB Montreal, it'd be 8 years since they'd released anything substantial, which is...
They were talking about it, too. They were like, oh, yeah, we're a new team, and, you were talking about this in your last video, Kobe, or I think it was one of your last videos, where they were just like, yeah, we're a new team and whatnot. It's just like, when did they really become a new team, though? Like, when did that switch up really happen? It was like, it didn't happen, from 2013. Like, when did they... There's still some people from that old team on there, so it's just like...
Right, they didn't, make Arkham Origins and then fire everybody.
Exactly.
It happened gradually, and a lot of people probably jumped ship, that one developer that had tweeted how, he doesn't have anything on his resume for the past 7 years because his last 3 projects were canceled.
Bobby?
Yeah. And the thing is after that amount of time where you feel like you're not progressing in your career, because let's say you're like a 24-year-old dev and you have worked on a big AAA project, and you like come into W Montreal, you get a great salary offer because you are at the top of your field, and then you have this 7-year gap in your resume. In the game, like a lot of work experience is dependent upon your resume. It's the same thing in academia. It's the same thing in the workplace. It's like, what have you done? What have you shipped? And the game industry especially is, what have you shipped? What have you contributed to the games that you have shipped? And in this case, they're under NDA. He can't even say, "Oh, I did this and this on this canceled game." It's totally illegal for him to share anything. So, given that context, it's definitely it's understandable why some people would leave. It simply put, it is understandable.
Yeah, and like you said, the game industry, it doesn't look good in any field to have a 7-year gap. But normally how developers alleviate that, as I've stated this previously, they go to like a GDC game developer conference thing, and they show off some systems that they worked on, whether that be like, I made this particle effect system in this game, or I did this destructive element, I did this, that. He couldn't even do that.
Right.
He couldn't even, like, in a closed setting, tell people that, because if one person squealed and said something, his career would be done. Nowhere would hire him.
Because like you mentioned, the game studios want to keep it hush-hush that they've had games canceled. What Rocksteady wants us to think is, oh, we've worked on this game since Arkham Knight. This is exactly, and I guarantee you in interviews, they'll be like, this is exactly what we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to take it in this direction after Knight. We wanted to work on this game and we've been working on it for 7 years. It's like, yeah, whatever.
That's what WB Montreal said, that, oh yeah, we came across this idea very early on. It's like, I mean, they said that they worked on this game for 3 years. It's just like, okay, well, what about that other 4 years?
Yeah.
Did you see that? There was a tweet that like Jeff made. He was just like, look what we've been doing for the last 3 years. And then I just saw the replies just like, what about those 4 years that you guys also had? Like, I don't know. It's really embarrassing sometimes when you just look at a dev team and they just try to say that they've been working on this the entire time. But we literally know from leaks and from inside sources like Jason Schreier that they've had canceled games, and they can admit that. They can say, like, literally their developers admit that on Twitter all the time. It's, I don't know.
It's the promotion seems silly.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
also,
all image.
I have one nitpick about the game, Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
I don't like the art style. I'm not crazy
about it. Really?
It's not bad. It's not Fortnite, like some people call it. It's just, it'll take some adjusting more so. But I think the game looks very... I think it looks very pretty when it shows like the environmental effects and stuff. Like when she's driving up to Mr. Freeze's big ice compound in the middle of the city. That looks nice. I think all the cars... Yeah, and I think like the cars driving is pretty cool because that might be like a Gotham's Alive kind of thing.
Right.
But other than that, the art style, especially Batwoman or Batgirl, surprisingly, she looks kind of goofy.
Yeah, like you think the OG suits before the customization, that's like all goofy?
I'd say that one's fine. It's more so when she's talking to Freeze and they do that weird zoom in on her face. And the white eyes kind of look goofy to me. And not a big gun like Red Hood either. I think Nightwing looks a little silly. Robin looks good. I like Robin's design actually, but
really, I didn't like Robin's design. They made him look too much Damian Wayne.
Yeah, one thing I don't like is the it looks like they have sweaters on.
Yeah.
Where they have the little strings coming down, like the drawstring hoodie. That's so dumb. Yeah. Why is that there? Now, but the thing is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the skins are fully customizable in the game. Like we already saw in the Mr. Freeze gameplay, Batgirl looks nothing like she does in the other CGI trailer. So it's like it doesn't even.
Robin had his red Robin suit on, so he didn't have a cape. He had like a full-on head suit.
It's kind of weird that he went from having the regular Robin suit on in the beginning of that demo and into having the Red Robin suit.
I didn't even notice that.
I thought that was kind of weird. In the beginning, I can swear he has like the OG sweater vest on.
My question is, how is Nightwing and like Red Hood gonna like? Are they gonna be able to glide? Like, how are they gonna get around to see like Batgirl and Robin? You know, because those guys have capes.
I mean, we know Rocksteady has proven themselves able to like make traversal mechanics that are pretty satisfying, like with the Batmobile and with Catwoman. Even she's really fun to control. For them, they might just have a grappling hook and just jump off buildings. That's about it. They might have a Catwoman type thing. I have no idea. I've never seen WB Montreal actually make a game, so
exactly.
We have no idea what they're
by
doing.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can you? Go ahead. No, go,
No,
Marcel.
you go ahead. You go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say, can you delve into the differences between an RPG and a games as a service? Like, what is the distinction there? I don't really
I
understand.
think games as a service is more so like Avengers is going to get continuously updated throughout the years and add in new content, gear, pieces, outfits, things like that. And they're going to charge you premium prices for all of this. So, like, the news came out that Avengers is going to have that $10 battle pass per post-launch character, which is very bad news to come out ahead of your game's launch. But things like that is what makes the game games as a service. Now, with Gotham Knights, it won't be. It sounds like it'll be like an Assassin's Creed game. And that makes sense considering, I forget the director's name, but he is actually ex-Ubisoft.
Redding. Yeah.
Patrick Redding. He's ex-Ubisoft. He worked on the Splinter Cell series for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so he worked in the Ubisoft studio with all these people who are making the Assassin's Creed games. So he obviously has a lot of first-hand experience on him. And that's my only big complaint is I think it might go too into the Assassin's Creed aspect of it. Because, like, nothing in this game looked particularly smooth. Like, even the gliding looked a little jank. And that's fine. It's pre-release. It's not even an alpha yet. It's a pre-alpha game. Yeah. But it's not going to be as smooth as, like, a Rocksteady game. Or their previous games. I think it'll be very rigid. And that's fine. Games pull that off all the time. If you've ever played Skyrim, Skyrim is one of the most janky games ever made. And it's still one of the highest selling games ever made. So if they can pull it off and actually make it satisfying, I'll buy into it. I didn't want another Arkham. I didn't get another Arkham, but I want to see what they do. I'm interested.
Do you keep hitting your mic, Dustin?
Me? No.
Do you hear that noise?
I hear the wind.
I think you are. Yeah. Just sit still. I have ADHD too, so actually you can keep moving. Okay, so I totally get that. Avengers, the games as a service model is looking jank there and that. So hopefully they work that out. As for Suicide Squad, what do you guys think about Rocksteady doing a Suicide Squad game?
I loved it.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that trailer.
That's gonna be more like I think that's gonna be more like Avengers than anything else, though. You know.
I don't think so. From what they've said so far.
Like, I think the gameplay is gonna be great. Because it's Rocksteady, personally, I think that they're gonna pull it off, like a really good 4-player co-op, and they're gonna actually balance out the gameplay on like what Square Enix is doing with Avengers, where they're just throwing shit at you, and they have Square Enix to learn from as well. So
I also did.
I think it'll be great, but you did.
I did. I played the beta when it came to Xbox.
Oh, that was like the second weekend, right? We did. Yeah, we did. I didn't even play the last weekend. I was so focused on DC fandom. I didn't even play any Avengers the last weekend. I just forgot about it.
It's so bad.
I'm excited to play it when it comes out. It comes out in what, like a week?
Yeah, maybe. September 4th.
Oh, I'm buying Tony Hawk instead.
Like 5 days.
5 days?
I'm buying Tony Hawk instead. I think so. Yeah.
Jesus, that's
how Rocksteady has said it's 4-player co-op or 1-player. They really emphasize that it'll be solo, so you can play it all the way throughout by yourself. And
I think they're going to use dual play a lot.
Yeah, probably. And I like the way that they set it up where each character has their own unique traversal method.
Mm-hmm.
So Harley Quinn will be able to swing with her hook or whatever.
Hook.
Deadshot has the jetpack. King Shark can just jump. And Captain Boomerang has that zippy around boomerang, which looks like it'll be so fun to use.
Yeah,
I can only imagine how that's going to feel.
And all of it is and this is the best part, is that's all in the Arkhamverse, so we know that they're going to try to use it as like Arkham gameplay too. So all of those characters are going to play with
it's a shooter,
of course. Yeah, it's a shooter. It's a shooter mixed with they're still going to try to use that.
Yeah, they said
they're going to have a bit of the free flow in there, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be like a lot like Red Hood, where you're shooting and then punching, shooting, punching, and but it's going to be a little bit more smooth where you're aiming down.
Deadshot will be a lot different, though, I will say.
I think Deadshot will be unique.
Yeah. I think he's great.
Especially with the jetpack and having a gun, that looks so fun to play as him.
He's probably going to have multiple ricochet ability. I think so, yeah. He has that big sniper and he has his wrist-mounted things.
Yeah.
And you know what really
I think that's what they said that's what they said is melee combat, is his wrist, gauntlet things. That's probably what they're going to use for him to shoot up close and whatnot. So that's going to be, instead of aiming down sight with the sniper. That'd be nice.
I got to say, one thing that has bugged me about the Arkham community is they still take the lore very seriously. I don't understand why.
Well, okay, this is a little bit different. I mean, he was white for like 7 different appearances in the Arkhamverse.
Yeah, but he was
It made
lame.
I know, but like they could have made him white and cool. I mean, they didn't. They could have made I don't know, make
think so.
Captain Boomerang black. I don't know.
They
Fuck.
could have made him
Like-
white and cool.
I mean, isn't King
I-
Shark? King Shark is what? Islander?
I don't fucking know.
He's
He's
from
a
Hawaii.
shark.
He's a shark. What do you mean?
Oh no, he's not a shark in the lore. He's a shark man who was born in Hawaii. So like in the movie, we know he's gonna get played by Taika Waititi. I can guarantee that. But in the game, he's voiced by a wrestler, Samoa
the guy
Joe.
the guy. No, he's not voiced by Samoa Joe. He's voiced by the guy that voiced Samoa Joe in like the All Star game, like
Really?
that silly WWE All Star game.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
I read that it was Samoa Joe.
but yeah, I mean, it's still what you said, like an islander. So,
But they're making him like a Hawaiian type thing. Like
yeah,
an
yeah, they
indigenous
really
Hawaiian.
are. Yeah.
And like, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Captain Boomerang looks like he's straight out of the comics, and that's sweet.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn looks like Arkham Harley. They really couldn't do much there.
No.
And Deadshot, I really enjoy his design. I think
it's great. Yeah, he's great. I like that. I like that he's black.
I did too. It's just one of those things where, man, they really could have avoided all this dumb Twitter backlash if they just made it a different Deadshot.
I know they could have made it like his like son or like his brother or some shit. I don't know, like his
like a
long
different
lost
character.
brother. Yeah, or just a different Deadshot.
Because like the Arkham Deadshot, let's be honest, he was fucking lame. He was a joke.
He's terrible. He was terrible.
He was a joke. He looked like he was from the 60s
Well,
in
was
Arkham
the
City.
Was the Assault on Arkham movie canon? Well, it wasn't really canon,
Yes.
but was it like a different like universe canon?
I
You know
think
what
he
I
got
mean?
written out of canon. I
But
don't
like
think
it's
it's
still
canon
like
anymore.
in the Arkham, like let's say like there's like an Arkham fucking universe where like, the comics aren't canon, but that's in a different Arkham universe, and then the games are really canon, and then like the Arkham movies or whatever.
I'd say
so
pick
let's
and
just-
choose.
They
Yeah,
have
whatever.
not-
Exactly.
They have not officially retconned anything. So
They really haven't officially.
Assault on
retconned
Arkham is canon. The comics are canon. All of that. Like they didn't do what Disney did, which is they come on and they're like, okay, all these novels that you bought, they're gone. They're donezo. They didn't do that. So they're probably going to need to at some point and explain why none of this makes any goddamn sense. But yeah, I don't know.
We're just gonna remaster all the games for PS5 and make them black.
I'd be if they could just do a model swap. I'd be okay with that.
Why
No one
did
would
they-
have any reason to complain.
At
then.
least give us an explanation. Like he did like a reverse Michael Jackson or some shit. Like,
No, like yeah, he got like his skin chemically burned by Joker.
Oh,
and
made
then
him-
he just became like the Punisher from that one story where he becomes black.
And it made him black and talk. Like a
You
black
never
guy.
seen that? Luke Cage
Oh.
makes like the Punisher black or whatever.
oh,
He has to become like a black guy or whatever. I don't know what this story's called. Yeah,
yeah,
Suicide
very
Squad looks
excited.
great.
I'm
It
very
does.
excited. That trailer set the tone perfectly, and I think that's
What-
all it was going for was to set the silly type. We aren't taking this very seriously.
What do you
Tone
think
wise.
about Brainiac? Because I mean, we didn't have any indication that Brainiac was going to be involved.
I'm
in
not
this
gonna
game.
lie, kind of boring,
yeah,
but
it is.
like
I don't-
it's Injustice too again, and like that.
Well,
but
yeah, it is because Brainiac and evil Superman, but Superman's more controlled by Brainiac. Like, what if I like Boomerang's gameplay because it looks like he's gonna like fight the Flash like that. Like, you get to avoid the Flash by throwing your boomerang and like zipping away. So, like, is the entire Justice League gonna be like that? And is it just gonna take
Maybe.
place in Metropolis?
and plus, I know the game takes place before Arkham Knight, so
Really?
it's somewhere
What?
in there. She says a line in it like "I'm gonna kill bats" or whatever.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I guess, but like, it looks like she's using like her name like Harleen like on her shirt and whatever. It seems like she's independent from Joker, which I mean
Maybe.
doesn't really make sense if Joker's alive. She's usually with Joker. If it was before Arkham Knight, she wants to kill Batman before, or I don't know. That wouldn't fit the fucking universe.
well,
No.
but the Joker could be dead if it's between City and Night, and then again,
But would she really be on like the Suicide Squad? Like in between that, it seems like she would be grieving Joker. Like
I don't
that
think
that
so.
was the whole point.
She was never arrested in between City and Night.
Well, yeah, they were all released after Arkham City. All the criminals.
see, the thing is, I think they're going to be like loosely connected. I don't think that this is going to be what we maybe thought as an Arkham Knight sequel, where there's a ton of references to Arkham. It's more just like, yeah,
But
it's
they
canon.
they called
Sure.
they called it a continuation of the Arkhamverse.
Yeah, Sefton Hill said it would wrap up some loose ends left over from that series.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
amazing.
I'm
Holy
thinking
shit.
like I'm thinking more like maybe there's like a Nightmare Batman, and like yeah, that's the Batman she's referring to. Maybe it's just a different Batman.
Maybe. And like I'm just interested to see what they do. We're gonna have to kill at least one
Oh,
member of the
oh,
Justice League, and I'm excited.
it's so weird because King Shark's also in a Assault on Arkham movie,
And
and
he
he
gets
looks
killed.
nothing like this, and he gets killed like the first minute.
Yeah, he gets killed. So I don't think that's canon anymore. I think that's actually
Yeah,
gonna get written out.
and Deadshot's white in that.
I'm
And this
just
game's
very
gonna be
interested to see how closely it's connected, you know? And like
I
you
want
mentioned, let's say that they say, "Oh, Robin became Batman." So when Harley says that line about killing Batman, she could actually mean Tim Drake, like she's trying to kill Tim Drake or
Yeah, and
something.
there's also that Batman balloon that
Uh-huh.
King
Yeah.
Shark pops, and if Batman's like dead and everyone knows who he is, I don't think they'd have merch of him just floating around like that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But it looks very good. I'm a big fan of the classic Superman design. I think he looks just goofy enough to fit that universe. I mean, Arkham
Right.
Asylum was very comics inspired. His Arkham
Yeah.
Asylum suit had the trunks on it.
Yeah.
So we've seen this
Yeah.
kind of thing done before in the universe.
Yeah. He had those on Arkham Knight too, like in the first missions.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
agree, though. I do not think it was the best decision to make Superman controlled by Brainiac and all the other Justice League members. It would have been really cool if there was actually a reason that the Suicide Squad was tasked with killing the Justice League. In other words, like Amanda Waller staging a coup against the U.S. government, which is allied with the Justice League. And then Amanda Waller actually wants to kill real Superman. Instead, it's like, oh, Superman is corrupted. He's evil now, so we have to kill him.
You're not going to kill him.
No, hell no, because then they want to. If they're building a Rocksteady extended universe, they're going to use him so they can make a trilogy out of Rocksteady or
Well,
out of Superman.
I think this gives them more of an opportunity to like snap the Justice League out of it, and then like, oh, we're all good now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's not going to be like the most climactic thing, and it's not like the most dramatic thing, but it doesn't look like they're going for that. They're going for like really silly.
You're
like,
gonna
you know,
kill people.
You're gonna kill Justice. I think there's gonna be like, you know, Green Lantern and whatnot. Like they've already there was a balloon there was Green Lantern. It's gonna be like Green Lantern or Barry Allen, fucking Flash, or like one of the C-list like Hawkman or Hawkgirl or, you know, fucking
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man. Yeah, that could be a good one. Or
Plastic Man would be sweet.
We know Superman, Green Lantern, and Batman are in there. We know Flash is definitely gonna be in there because Captain Boomerang. And I mean, Aquaman's probably in there too. So like whoever else is in there, they're all expendable except Superman and Batman.
Yeah, and also I think it's one of those things. I don't think Batman's gonna make an appearance.
No, I don't think he. I mean, I think he will. If he's not going to be in, if they're really going with WB Montreal, not putting him in the fucking Gotham Knights game, which I don't know. I really don't know at this point. They can definitely not do it.
You think Kevin Conroy would come back again?
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would
Yeah.
come back as Batman in the Suicide Squad game if they're going to do that in the Arkhamverse.
It's also one of those things where they kind of did tease it in Arkham Knight too, with the Lex Luthor phone call that you can hear. So he's gonna play a role. Obviously, he's gonna be in the game. There's no way they can have Superman in it.
Yeah, it's Metropolis.
Lex Luthor be in it. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting. We already know Superman's the big bad, but obviously with an M-rated game like Suicide Squad's gonna be, then they can kind of just do whatever they want. I think it's gonna be M-rated.
What if they like?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think they're gonna have like a moment where we play as the Justice League?
No, I don't
No?
think so.
I mean, what if they like snap out of it and then like we have to kill Brainiac and like we have to use the Justice League for it?
Now that's great. If that's
tell
like
me that
the
wouldn't
last
be a
hour of the
fucking
game,
tell me that wouldn't be
that
like
would be.
that's
And then
why
it's like,
Justice League is in the title.
and then it's like, oh, actually, you know, the Suicide Squad or Superman snaps out of it, and then it's like, oh, the Suicide Squad can't take out, and then the Suicide Squad and the Justice League team up to take up Brainiac, and then they just throw you in control of Superman, and they're like, press R2 to fly, and then you just like start flying around. Everyone would fucking lose their shit, man.
It would be press R2 to beat the game. if
Yeah.
you're playing as
I mean,
Superman.
but like, what if that was like the little tease in the actual like trailer? Because all they showed was playable characters. What if Superman is also a playable character?
That is true.
That would be really nice.
Possible.
I'm excited to see what they do though, because I want to see Rocksteady actually embrace that M rating from the start. I mean,
Oh,
Arkham
yeah.
Arkham Knight was barely M-rated because they showed Jason Todd getting tortured, and that's one of those things. I read a Stephen Hill interview where WB was like, or the ESRB came up to them and said, "Your game's going to be rated M because Jason Todd gets tortured and killed pretty much." And Stephen Hill was like freaking out because that's a turning point in the game. That's obviously one of the big defining moments of that game is seeing that happen. And then he went to WB, and they were just like, "We don't give a shit. We know we're gonna sell like 50 billion copies."
Oh,
And
they
were right.
They weren't mad?
No, WB didn't care. They were relatively fine with it. I mean, the thing is like a parent's not gonna care if they see a Batman game is rated M. It's Batman. And if you look at the back of the box, I don't have it, but I'm sure it just says like, "Oh, blood, tobacco, language."
Like that's the only, like, there's no like nudity or any like, you know, like adult shit. Like language is like the worst, but they know in a Batman game no one's gonna drop F-bombs and you know, call women like sluts and shit.
Let's kill
like
the fucking bat.
Yeah, exactly. Like that would be a fun game to play, like a rated R Batman game. But
I do want to see this game be a really, really edgy M-rated game, though, for sure.
I think it will be.
I hope so. I think
it was just rated. It was rated T for the trailer, but I mean, Captain Boomerang was about to drop an F-bomb. That's probably going to happen a lot.
In the trailer, I know that the song cusses in the trailer, and they say like shit a couple times. So
I barely even heard. It was sounding like fucking. It was going so fast.
You make a great point though. You make a great point though, because in Arkham Knight they tried to make a T-rated game. They tried to scale down the Jason Todd scenes to land that T rating, and they were like crossing their fingers because of course a T rating means you will get more sales for sure. For sure. There are a whole bunch of kids out there that are not allowed to play M-rated games. They will play T, and they'll buy up a Suicide Squad game like that. So, and their parents don't allow them to play M. So you definitely get more sales. Although you do lose an audience, a more mature audience. Or like, I don't want to play. Right. And you're like, I don't want to play a kid's game, you know, whatever. Like they made this for kids. So, I mean, Arkham blends it perfectly because it's Batman, and you don't like Batman's not going to be like, fuck this, fuck that, you know, every line. So it kind of works, but with Suicide Squad, you can't really get around that. And even making the movie PG-13 was kind of lame, honestly. I hope that this new movie is R.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but
There's already been like an interview where Flora, whatever the German guy's name is, I'm trying to think of his name, but he was like, "There's exploding genitals in this movie," and I'm just like, that sounds awesome. They have that disgusting little rat creature.
You think it's that rat catcher? Yeah.
Oh no, the rat creature, Weasel.
Weasel. Yeah.
Weasel's terrifying, and the movie's gonna be like a 1970s Apocalypse Now style war movie.
Yeah.
And everyone's
Starro's gonna be the fucking villain.
Is he actually?
Yes, there's behind the scenes sets of Starro like on people's faces and shit. I'm like, what? Yeah, go on my Twitter and just scroll down. You'll see like, bro, wait, what? Really? I mean, it's like no fucking way.
We know it's James Gunn, and we know that he really excels at that R-rated thing because he did Super, and that's great. And like, he's already proven himself capable of doing a big blockbuster like Guardians of the Galaxy. And in the trailer, they can legally put, from the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and that's going to blow people's minds. Like the average moviegoer, they're not going to know what to expect.
Yeah, James Gunn said that he has full reign on doing anything that he wants in this movie. So
I mean, what happened was after he got canceled and fired, I bet DC went up to him and said, "Daddy Gunn, please do a movie for us, please." And
please
then they were like,
edgy self.
And then they said, "Please do Superman or something." I remember he said he was offered Superman, and he was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck?
Give me Suicide Squad. Let me ball out.
Dude, imagine if he just really leans into it, goes all out, and just makes like there's like 15 pedo jokes in the movie because he's like Disney. He's like Disney, suck this.
Dude, no, that would be a bash on Twitter.
That would be a bash.
That'd be crazy.
Because Disney did the right thing in the end because they hired him back. They didn't have to, but they did because they realized we're going to lose a lot of fans if we just fire him straight up, and also we're going to lose a lot of that creative spark because Guardians of the Galaxy is literally his movie.
You should fire real pedos. Don't fire people that have no evidence of being pedos and make jokes on Twitter. Okay. That's my perspective.
I mean, he didn't just make jokes on Twitter. It was a lot.
There were a lot of
I don't remember the exact details of
it. Listen, dude, he even said, you know, that he dated Jenna Fisher or whatever her name is. She's like she's Pam on The Office, right? And there was this. They were
Really?
making this short film. Yeah, they were making a short film, and literally on camera, he was just like, he was like, "What if somebody?" She was like, "What if somebody made jokes about your daughter like that?" And he was just like, "Oh well, she'll be broken in by me by then." And it's just like, bro, excuse me, what'd you just say? He
Okay.
literally he had a pedophile friend too, who's now convicted. He got convicted in
Oh, really?
2019.
Let's
Right
preface
before,
this.
right after, like right before.
Okay,
he
but
got,
this is Hollywood, right?
Let's preface this with,
but when
I'm
you
sure.
joke with the pedophile about pedophile shit, and he
Okay,
becomes a
that's fair.
pedophile, it's a little suspicious.
Yeah, but it's one of those
Possible
things where
as
you
a
had no
pedo.
control. It's one of those things where it's like you probably know a pedophile. You guys are probably friends with pedophiles. I'm probably
What?
friends
So
with
just
one.
because I'm from North Carolina?
No. Yes, exactly.
I'm
But
not friends with
Like,
anybody like that.
it's
I
one.
I
promise you
don't.
that.
I don't think I am, but
You'd
I
never know.
I
Like
would.
you'd never know.
I think I would know because honestly, guys are like that, dude. Guys, like these like fucking creepy ass motherfuckers would be like, "Hey, you see that underage girl right there? Man, she's underage, but she's hot." Like guys do that type of shit.
I don't know about that, bro.
I've worked with some fucking creepy motherfuckers.
It sounds like it. It sounds like you know a few, bro.
I know a few. It's unfortunate.
This proves Dustin's
and
point.
it pisses me
Yeah.
off. Yeah, exactly.
It's
But
one
like,
of those things where
I'm
like,
not friends with people like that.
It's like you make fucked up jokes with friends, and then you realize, oh wait, my friend is a monster. Like, fuck this guy.
No.
It's not really his fault. Maybe he shouldn't have made those jokes. They're a little off kilter, to be honest. But do I believe he should get fired? Not exactly.
No.
Maybe
I
talk to. I think he should get talked to. Be like, hey, calm down with the pedophile jokes, maybe. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy
Look.
3 is. They're gonna make Rocky Raccoon just a straight up pedophile in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Look, I mean, he apologized profusely, did he not?
Oh
Like,
yeah, he
he
did it
wasn't
twice.
yeah. So I don't know. Now, again, if we have evidence like, oh, he's sliding in 14-year-old girl DMs, fuck yeah, get him out of here. Like,
No, that's Jared Leto.
That's
Jared Leto do that?
That's Mando, bro.
Yeah, Jared Leto is creepy, but that's another day. That's another topic for another day.
Y'all know Mando on Twitter?
Oh man, no.
Okay, good. Don't. Never mind.
oh yeah, I saw him. Like a lot of people were talking about him, right?
Dude, he slid into like 15-year-old girls' DMs, flirting with them, and then when he got caught, he was just like, "Oh no, I was just joking."
I
didn't see their age in their bio.
I'd understand it if it's one of those things where he didn't know, but the fact that he knew makes him fucking disgusting.
Have you seen? Okay, Dustin, go on my Twitter right now and just look at my screenshot, please. Because honestly, I mean, you guys have to see this guy, and you'll scroll down and say, "This is Mando," and you'll realize how weird it is that he's like 19 years old too.
Okay,
Yeah, he
have,
looks like
have
that
any
kinda
of you
guy.
guys like accidentally hit up a girl? Haven't you guys accidentally hit up a girl who was like 16 and you didn't know it?
Not 16, but I think 17. Yeah, and then I was like, one of
But
those
is
things.
17 legal? If it, in most states.
Legal, but I don't know if it's morally right.
No,
If,
I know. I know. I'm just saying, like.
Well, I don't know. I play it safe. I mean, I usually know the age of a girl before I try to talk to them.
At least
Like flirt with them.
When your girlfriend can still eat for free at the restaurant, it's a video of Mando fucking clapping his hands and going like that. Oh my god. He's
wait,
wearing a
how do we
Superman.
know what he looks like?
Go on my Twitter and scroll down, and you'll see this is Mando. This is Mando, and it's question mark.
Oh, is it the video of him reacting to Gotham?
Yeah. Yes.
No, he's reacting to, I think, Batman.
Listen,
Does he have a YouTube channel?
Yes, he participated in some of my YouTube videos, my best of photo mode videos for Spider-Man when I did those, like collaborations with all my fans and whatnot.
Wait, was he a fan of like Arkham YouTubers and shit?
Yeah, he was he was Spider-Man more. And that's where he found me, at least.
And he still has an active YouTube channel.
He still has an active YouTube channel. He tried to lie about coming back to Twitter like he was a different person, but then people found out he was Mando, and he admitted to being Mando. He's just like, yeah, I'm Mando. I'm sorry. Do you guys want me off Twitter? He's like, he just wants attention. Because I mean, just look at him. I mean,
dude,
I don't want to be
He's
mean.
a straight Chad. He's a Chad, bro. I can't fucking.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. I got stuck. I got hypnotized. Like, no way, this is a real person. No way, he was talking to a 15-year-old girl on Twitter DMs. Like, And it all makes sense after I saw those videos.
He probably got rejected by her too.
Oh my. She
Definitely.
exposed him. She exposed him. She was the one that exposed him.
Oh, she was?
I think so. Who else would have? He wasn't gonna expose himself.
Mando, when his hot date turns out to be Chris Hansen, and him like, oh my god.
Oh,
Dude, Chris Hansen is a fucking G though.
he's a Chad. He's the real
He's a straight Chad. That's good work.
Have a seat
Oh,
right here.
yeah.
Would you like to have a seat, Mando? I brought some cookies.
Have you seen the one where the pedophile comes in and he brings in a pizza and he's like, the pedophile looks at the 15-year-old, well, the 37-year-old actor that they have to prank the 15-year-old. What's always funny to me is they always like he's a 13-year-old boy and they walk in and it's a 6'3" like guy with facial hair. He's like, yeah, come in, have a seat. It's like, bro, you aren't fooling anyone. But the guy comes in having a pizza and he's like, do you want a slice? And then Chris Hansen pops out and he's like, can I have one?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's the biggest Chad moment I've ever seen.
I got stuck on watching pedophiles get exposed. It's the funniest fucking shit.
So funny. But yeah, can we move on to the next topic?
Yes, of course.
I watched New Mutants in theaters.
How was it, Dustin?
It's the worst X-Men movie, and that's not even like
really
something
saying
you can say lightly. That's like saying Suicide Squad is the worst DC movie. It's like, damn, that's a really low bar.
Yeah.
I got out of the theater, and of course, the Boseman stuff hit, and I was like, fuck, and I kind of took my mind off it. But when I get back into it, I'm gonna spoil the movie, so skip past.
No, I want to watch it.
Why?
Oh, come on, no one.
I want to watch it. I do.
Dude.
Okay,
Dude,
this is the one where they're all in like the insane asylum for like mutants, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I won't spoil it, but I will say that there's a bunch of foreshadowing that gets very obnoxious, and I gotta spoil one key scene. It's not a key scene, nothing big happens.
I
gotta tell you about this.
Do
It's
it,
not a big
Dustin.
scene. It's not a big scene. So the main character is a Native American girl, and first off, I gotta say the amount of Native American racism in this movie is absurd. It's ridiculous.
In like a way that they're glorifying it.
It's too much. There's a bitchy character.
They call her
movies.
Pick Up Pocahontas.
They call her that and a few other things. But,
Standing Rock and shit.
yeah, and like it's just a character who's supposed to be a bitch, and she calls her a bunch of like racial epithets for Native Americans, and it's like, okay, dog, we get it. You can make a bitchy character without making her unappealing, right? And this is supposed to be like someone who's a big hero at the end, and it's like, I can't forget the time you call her Pocahontas. Like, it's kind of fucked up. But so the main character, and then there's Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, and she plays Wolfsbane, which is like a girl who turned into a wolf or whatever. And there's a scene where they're laying down and looking at the stars or whatever, and they start kissing, and they stop kissing for a second, and it cuts to Maisie Williams' face, and she has fucking dog eyes, like actually like brown dog eyes.
What the fuck?
And Maisie Williams goes, "Oh, don't look." And she goes, "No, they're beautiful. Let me see them."
Oh my god.
And I laughed. It's the loudest. I've
The
ever
acting
laughed.
looks horrible in that movie. I mean, just
It
based
was
off of the
pretty
clips
bad.
alone.
It was pretty bad. Now, I do have a good mouthwash thing coming up tomorrow. I'm seeing Tenet early
Nice.
in theaters.
Oh.
Yeah.
How are you seeing that?
I bought early access tickets.
Where the fuck do you live?
Ohio.
I guess. you
Bro,
can see
I
it.
live
don't
in
know.
fucking Hollywood and I can't see these movies. I literally looked the other day and every movie theater in this city is closed. There's not one that is open.
Damn.
So
Good luck seeing Tenet. Drive to Oakland, see if it's different.
yeah, it's like a different movie over there. The Oakland cut. No, so yeah, the reviews for Tenet. I was listening to a review from Chris Stuckman and he was saying that oh wait, sorry. Did I fly past the New Mutants? Did you want to say more about that? I didn't mean to change the topic.
Don't see it. Don't support it. It's bad. See it to support your local theaters, if anything.
No.
Don't see it because you actually want to see it. No,
Don't see
theaters
it. You
need
might get
help,
sick.
man. Theaters.
You might get COVID.
I feel safer at the theater than I do at work.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
The theater was actually relatively well spaced out and cleaned, so that's awesome. But other than that, don't see it to actually see it. See it to support your local theaters, or watch one of your local theaters as like throwbacks. Because my theater was playing like the Rocky movies over a marathon. They were playing like Mean Girls. See one of those. Don't see New Mutants. Never watch New Mutants. Let it die in a fire.
Is it really terrible? Like, it's awful.
Kinda, a little bit. It's one of those things where I come out more so bored. Like, nothing happened over those 2 hours that I just spent. And that's even worse than watching a movie like Suicide Squad, where you can laugh at it and there's actually stuff going on that you can remember. In New
Right.
Mutants, I just remember like 3 key scenes. I remember also seeing Marilyn Manson's name in the credits and being like, what the fuck? But other than that, yeah, no. So there's like smiley men in the movie, guys with like big smiles. They're in the trailers. They're voiced by Marilyn Manson. And they make like noises when they walk around. And I'm just like, why the fuck did you get Marilyn Manson to do this? It's goofy, but no, don't see the movie. Don't see the movie purely based off the fact that the director is kind of an asshole.
All right, Kobe, you're watching a review about Tenet about Chris Stuckman?
Okay, yeah, so Chris Stuckman was like, the movie is definitely not one of Chris Nolan's best, and it is even worse than
Dunkirk.
Some of the other movies in the sense of he didn't say worse than Dunkirk, but he said like there's even less character development, and he feels like this is now like a growing weakness in Chris Nolan's movies where there is very little character development, and evidently it's kind of like a very fast-paced plot, but it's a very plot-heavy movie, not character-heavy. I will say that I'm surprised that this is a criticism of Nolan on a movie like Interstellar, which I found to be very character-driven. In fact, perhaps to a fault. I don't know. But certainly Inception also had a pretty strong, character motivation throughout that with Leo's character. And, I do think with Dunkirk, that was a huge fault of it. Dunkirk is my least favorite Nolan movie by far because there's like, I mean, the script is, I think, like a third or a fourth the length of a typical, script of a Hollywood, big blockbuster picture. And it definitely shows in the movie. It's like, okay, Chris, we get it. You're great at music. You're great at scenes. And said, by the way, I do have not 100% confirmed, but a little bit of like inside information. So you know how the trades are running about how Hans Zimmer couldn't do this movie because of a schedule misalignment or some shit like that, and how like he just couldn't make it to do this movie. I've heard from someone who is pretty reliable, and he told me that Chris Nolan and Hans Zimmer actually had a huge falling out. And that they are never going to do any movie together unless they make up. But like, I would be willing to bet $100 that Hans Zimmer is not going to be scoring any of Chris Nolan's movies anytime soon. So it's interesting. Yeah, the trades have reported like, oh yeah, Hans Zimmer just couldn't do it, and it's like, yeah, dude, he would pass up any other movie to take Chris Nolan's movies because Chris Nolan is like our Steven Spielberg of this generation. So I find it hard pressed to believe that he would not do a Chris Nolan movie if given the opportunity over something else. But anyway. So evidently they had a falling out. Although I heard the movie, the music in the movie is quite good.
Yeah, it's Ludwig Göransson, I think.
Black Panther guy, right? He did the Black Panther score.
He also is the main producer for Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. He's his main producer for all of his rap stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Okay, yeah. So I mean, he's clearly a very talented musician. So.
He also did Venom.
What?
Okay, I take that back.
No. I think it'll be good.
No, it'll be good.
I'll let you know.
But yeah, evidently, yeah, I'm very curious to know what you think about it. But those are some of the things that I've heard about. Is that it's like not very, I don't know, it's like a little confusing, even more esoteric than Inception when it comes to like the time bending and all that shit. And there's not a whole lot of character development, so that's kind of a concern because I was really hoping to get into that Idris Elba character and like see what's going on with him. But evidently, it's super story driven about like
Idris Elba in that.
He's the main character.
That's John David Washington.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's Denzel Washington's kid. That's John David Washington.
Oh, so the main character is John David Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, same guy from Black Klansman.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
I thought it was not Denzel Washington. I thought it was Idris Elba who was the main character in
Idris Elba. I wouldn't say Idris Elba's too old, but he is too old.
Okay.
Frankly. He's like in his mid-40s, I think. So you know if it's him because he's all grayed out now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So no, it's John David Washington.
Gotcha.
You might get it confused because he's in Suicide Squad.
Idris. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's the main character in that.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think about it, for sure.
Hey, Salvo,
Yeah.
did you ever get that fanfic?
Oh yeah. Holy shit! I can send it to you guys.
I got it. Do you want to? We can.
Oh,
read
you
the
got
script.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, send
We
me
can
a-
roleplay the shit.
Send me in on
Yes.
Twitter.
Yeah. Send it to Dustin. He could read the actions and shit because it's just me and you with dialogue.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, one of our fans, Greg, his name is Greg. He wrote fan fiction, like Slcmof and Salvage fan fiction.
Let me shout out his @ real quick.
Yeah,
On Twitter. If you
it's
like it, go
at,
follow.
it's at Pop Greg, POPGREGG. That's his name. He's a big NBA fan, so if you follow, I follow him, and if you follow him, you'll get a lot of NBA shit. Did you see the DM, Salvo?
Yeah. No, I got the. I already had it. He sent it to me.
You have it pulled up?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, let me open it up.
Okay, you should read the narration, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin's gonna be a narration because that's he could be the other character too.
How am I not?
On the airplane.
I thought it was an anonymous throwdown thing.
No, it's just me.
You need to give me access to it, you dick.
Oh,
you don't have access?
No.
Oh,
Hang on,
it's not our file.
Oh.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll copy and pasted the whole thing in there.
Okay. It's not long, right?
No, it's not long. He wrote it. I think he said he wrote it like a year ago.
try that.
Okay, let me try it.
Oh shit. Okay.
I need access.
I mean, I just sent the whole. Just read.
I just sent the whole script.
Jake's gonna be so confused.
Okay,
So-
Dustin, start with the top line.
Oh shit! Hold on. I'm not. Hang on. I'm not even there. I thought. Okay, go ahead. Start it.
Come on, Salvo, you're gonna be an actor. And
Start
you're
it. Oh my god, I don't. Okay, go ahead.
So, once upon a time, two knights named Slcmof and Salvage decided it had been too long since they've played a new Arkham game.
Bro, Salvage, dude. I need a new Batman game, man.
Stop talking like that, you bitch. I need a new one too.
Bro, okay. Love you, Salvage.
What did I do in the past life to get partnered up with you?
Way I see it is you won the lottery to hang with me.
Salvage stares blankly at Slcmof.
We should invade WB Montreal's headquarters
Because?
so we can play the new Batman game. Duh.
Fine, but you better not ditch me to hang out with your girlfriend like last time.
Last time?
When we tried to invade Rocksteady and you left early to be with your girlfriend.
Slcmof has no idea what Salvage
don't.
is talking about, but reassures him he won't leave. Then they both fly to WB Montreal's headquarters looking for WB Montreal's Batman game.
Man, I can't wait to play as Batman once again.
Oh man. J-Roar hears Salvage on the plane and walks up to them and screams in a high-pitched voice. Salvage then punches him and J-Roar cries and jumps off the plane, never to be heard of again.
Up top.
The two best friends then high-five each other. Once they make it to WB Montreal's headquarters, they enter straight through the front doors. Since security officers are Canadian, they were too polite to ask for credentials.
Man, this is going to be easier than I thought.
Want to know what else is easier than I thought?
But before Slcmof could finish making a horrible joke, the fallen one, EGP Gaming, appeared.
Your EGP.
Note, you can tell this was a while ago since EGP is in here, LOL. Brothers, it is me, EGP. I have come here to warn you that this isn't a good idea.
You're right. This isn't a good idea. It's a great one.
Fine. If you won't leave, then I must fight you. EGP's spirit thing then becomes a tank.
Yay, another tank battle.
Slick rolls his eyes while saying that. Slcmof and Salvage fend off EGP Gaming with ease. They then walk into the meeting room of WB Montreal and everyone is just chalking each other off.
Chalking each other?
That's awesome. Salvage and Slcmof look at each other and say, Say it.
We ain't getting a new
Batman
Batman
game
game
anytime
soon.
And in true fan fiction ending, they hug each other, winky face. But hey, that's just a fiction of fan fiction. Thanks for writing. Note, cringe.
Oh, that's
Well
beautiful.
done,
That was
Greg.
awesome.
Great work. That was incredible.
All right,
I
I'm
love that.
gonna make a pledge. If you guys write more fan fictions, we will read them live.
Oh,
If they aren't super gross.
Gross, yeah. Can't be too graphic.
I really love the plot twist at the end when we.
Just beat the shit out of EGP.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I thought he
Dude.
was gonna join us.
Yeah.
Sub,
Seriously.
Kicked his ass. Like what?
sub EGP with Asveria, and that could be the same plot.
Oh, you're right. That's
Barry,
good time.
R.I.P. Barry, man. Barry, if
Yeah.
you're still out there, if you're still watching, hit us up. We'd love to have you on.
He's
Yeah,
not fucking
seriously.
dead. Like,
He's
I
on
don't-
Twitter.
What's his Twitter?
I don't know. He followed me on one of them. I'll send it to you after.
Okay, because like this man just straight up like that might have
Man,
been me though. I
I
kind of
wanted
did
to-
just dip.
No, I mean I wanted to. He deleted a lot of his videos, and like I wanted him to keep the one about Nerd Boink. God, that was a banger. When Nerd Boink stole all of our shit, like honestly, when he made that exposed video on him, it was just perfect.
yeah.
I feel bad for Nerd Boink.
I
don't. Neither do I. I was joking.
I don't feel bad for Nerd Boink, that one pedophile kid you were talking about earlier, or J Roar.
No, yeah, none of them.
Look, all those guys. Is J Roar even getting views anymore?
Yeah, he's doing this like everybody's confused about why he deleted all of his videos off his main channel. So they're all looking up his channel and then they're finding my exposed video on him.
Oh yeah, no,
And
it's top. It's on the top.
I just searched
right
J. Roy and your video is the top one.
Oh, it's
But
just,
he
it
has a
says
new
J
channel.
now.
Yeah,
He just plays Dead by Daylight and averages.
But everybody's
anything
saying that
from-
I'm an attention seeker for making that video about him, even though he, threatened to dox me when he was 28 and I was 16.
Didn't he also threaten to kill you?
No, he didn't. That was another guy.
Oh no, that's PC Legos.
Yeah,
Did we tell the
what?
PC Legos story? on
we
here?
told. Yeah, we told that.
Oh man,
Wait, no, we didn't. Not on
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, we did.
we aren't on stream.
We did on a podcast. I remember Dustin reminding us of that. We went through that story.
Oh my god.
We never went through a J-War one though.
Oh man.
I don't know.
remember
That's a different. I feel like that's a different topic. That has to be like a starter. That has to be like
Oh man.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I remember I'm the one who started all this beef between you guys because
You kind of did. I mean, I thought
I
it was
was
more
like, I think
Was it
I'm the one
you?
who brought his attention to you because he
No.
posted he had a thumbnail of Harley Quinn bending over and just her like ass in the thumbnail. Like the entire thumbnail was her ass, and I called him out and was like, "You're a piece of shit," and he like nerd raged at me and fucking
no, it wasn't
his
you.
species at me.
Me, Kobe, and real comic gamer. I forgot his real name. We made a reaction video of On Cage reacting to J-Roar reacting to a package that On Cage sent to J-Roar. And J-Roar was wearing his mask because he was pretending to have ringworm. So, Kobe made a reaction video of Dustin reacting to On Cage reacting, and I made a video reacting to Kobe reacting to real comic gamer reacting to On Cage.
Oh,
And
that's
then
Dylan.
J-Roar, yeah, Dylan. And then J-Roar copyright striked me instead of
Now,
everybody else.
The thing that I specifically remember about that is that we were not trying to make fun of J-Roar in particular. I specifically remember that we were trying to basically just make fun of reaction videos as a genre.
all
And
reactors.
like we all were, that was the time where the people like the what's his name? Magnus. What's his name?
Tyrone Magnus.
Magnus.
Tyrone Last of Us 2 is the George Floyd of gaming Magnus.
My bad.
Yeah. Marcel, are you back?
Yeah, back.
Okay.
Oh man.
No, but the thing about it is like we were just trying to spoof on reaction videos, and he took it as like a personal attack, and we were all like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then he got really pissed. And then the other thing is, if you remember, he also made a video about us. And not gonna lie, I was disappointed by my roast. Like J-Roar, I thought he was gonna bring some heat on me. But he just called me rap god, and he was like, "This guy talks really fast," and I'm like, "Thanks."
Didn't he
that was
also
the
call
same
you
video.
skinny at some point?
Didn't he what?
Didn't he call you skinny at some point? Like that was a
And
big
I'm like,
insult.
also not an insult, but okay.
Yeah, no, he also in that video admitted to lying about ringworm, and he literally called his mom to confirm that he didn't have ringworm, but his dad had ringworm.
Oh, I remember.
He literally did. That was like a 10-minute segment in that video.
Wasn't like,
and then he was just
didn't
like,
he
yeah,
just have really bad acne.
Yeah, it was like he's tried to say that it was because he had hickeys, and he didn't want any other girls to see him on his videos having hickeys. That was his excuse.
That was excuse.
Yeah, he's 20 years old. And then he was like, yeah, I tried to dox him, but I wasn't going to I threatened to dox him, but I wasn't going to dox him. Like, he literally admitted that. But, like, what 28-year-old has to resort to trying to dox somebody who's 16 to win a YouTube drama thing? Like,
what bitch.
It's so weird how he even has an audience after that. Like, it's really bad.
I mean, he doesn't anymore.
I mean, he technically does. He still has a Dead by Daylight, whatever, YouTube channel and Twitch.
That sucks because I've actually been getting into that game recently. So I didn't know that. Yeah, it's
Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a fun game. It's like a it's like an online multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, one person plays killer, 4 plays survivor, and they have to like turn on generators around the map to escape. It's very fun, like cat and mouse kind of dynamic.
Yeah, that is fun.
And it's on Game Pass, so if anyone in the audience has it, go for it. No reason not to.
Yep, for sure.
I don't get that Game Pass thing. Like, you just like pay a certain amount every month, and then you get like all those games.
I pay $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, and what that entails is I get Xbox Gold, so I get like their online stuff. I get their free games monthly that I get to own, and then I get over 100 games on both PC and console that I can just download for free and play whenever.
Awesome.
And I can only play. I can play it until. Yeah, it's basically what PS Now is, except better. Because PS Now.
Yeah, PS Now is fucking garbage. Jesus Christ! God damn, you can't play anything on that if you have a.
No, it sucks. You've got to literally have god tier internet.
Like literally beyond god tier. Like, it has to be the most perfect internet with no like delays whatsoever.
It's like Stadia or whatever the fuck that Google shit is.
Yeah.
Google Stadia. You guys remember that?
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh man, I tried that. It was bad.
You did?
Yeah, I got it. They emailed me. They were like, "Hey, get 3 months free of Stadia Premium or whatever." And I was like, "I'll bite." And then I went in and I turned off the renew automatically. And I was just like, I played 10 minutes of Destiny 2 on it, and it was fucking awful. It was bad.
On PS Now, it's useless, and everyone's like, "Oh, just play Arkham Origins on PS Now." And I'm like, I am not fucking playing any game. I remember I tried to do a stream on it. I was like, I announced this whole Arkham Origins stream series, and then I played the first episode, and I was just like lagging around everywhere. It was fucking.
You ridiculous. Have an Xbox One?
Torture.
Yeah, I do, but it's broken for whatever reason. It's not turning on. I might have had some water damage to it. I don't know.
It is backwards compatible on Xbox.
It is, and that's why. And then I got Arkham Origins on disc for Xbox, so that might be a good reason to buy a Series X. Actually, is like because you can put in your 360 and Xbox One games on it, right?
Any of them that are part of the backwards compatibility program. So from what I know, every Xbox One game will work. And then just the ones that they have on the backwards compatibility program for 360 in the original Xbox, only those will work, but I think they're still going to add on to those.
Right.
So that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great. And there were a lot of good games on Xbox One I really enjoyed. Rise of the Tomb Raider, that was a fun one that came out around 2013, I think. That was actually 2015, thank you. But it was a 1 year time.
Yeah.
It was a 1 year timed exclusive for Xbox One though, right?
Yeah, no, people were very upset about that.
Yeah. And that was a fun game. So there have been some good games on Xbox for sure. And I don't know. Did you guys see what Phil Spencer said about Xbox? Or not Phil Spencer, excuse me. The guy that hosts the Game Awards every year. What is his name? Jeff Keighley?
Yeah.
Did you see what he said, Dustin?
What did he say?
No. What did he say?
Oh, let's actually pull this up. Jeff Keighley on Xbox. So he basically like roasted the fuck out of Xbox. And okay, yeah, Jeff Keighley weighs in on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm gonna read a bit of this article. If you guys get bored at any point, I'll try to keep it quick to like a few minutes, but I just want to recap what happened. So he said, I think both consoles have really unique, interesting stories to tell. In the latest episode of IGN Unfiltered, Jeff Keighley talked about the upcoming launch of the Series X and PS5 and how the philosophies of each platform impact their standing. Ryan McCaffrey sat down with Keighley to discuss a wide range of topics in the latest episode of IGN Unfiltered, blah, 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 blah. When his thoughts about the upcoming generation of consoles and the current position of both Sony and Microsoft, he said, "What I will say overall is I'm amazed that the two new consoles are coming out this year in this environment in terms of the positioning of the machines. They're going down different paths. I think PlayStation is in a really good position. I think the PS5 is a great machine. The controller, which I've gotten to play with, is really, really cool. An amazing lineup of first-party games. They're kind of running the same play they've run before, and it worked really well for them. The games they showed in their lineup, the SSD stuff looks incredible. I'm excited about that." Then he talks about Xbox. This is the last thing I'll read. I promise I'm not going to bore you. He says, "Xbox is playing a different game. I think the Game Pass stuff is really compelling story for them. I think the Xbox has a good story as well, and a different story than what Sony is approaching. I think Xbox has to really deliver the great first-party games. That's always the challenge for them. And I think Halo had its challenges at the Xbox Game Showcase when they showed it. Following the interview, it was announced that Halo Infinite will be pushed to 2021, meaning it will no longer launch on the Series X. Who knows what Sony has for launch? They've been kind of vague about it. They have a lot of games coming, but what's actually coming at launch and around it? And overall, I think it's a different generation because I think one of the biggest launch games is going to be Cyberpunk for all of these systems, which is just going to run a lot better on Series X and PS5 than it has forwards and backwards compatibility, blah, blah, blah." So he basically said, was really complimenting the first-party exclusives and for Xbox complimenting Game Pass. The tricky thing for me is that I don't see how Xbox wins, quote-unquote, the console war under that framework, though.
I don't think they're going for a console war. Truly,
Yep.
I think that they're just trying to corner off their own market, kind of like how Nintendo has. Notice how no one ever brings up Nintendo in the console war. That's because they've cemented their place right there. No one will ever touch Nintendo. Even though PS4 outsells it, Nintendo is still Nintendo. You can't beat Nintendo. It's one of those kind of things.
They do what they do, and they do it well, for sure.
Yeah. And it's like, if you're a Nintendo fan, you know what you're going into with a Nintendo game. Fun, colorful. If you like PS4, like Sony, you know what you're getting into. You're going to get a third-person shooter. That's about it. And then on Xbox, you kind of just don't have anything. So with Game Pass, if they can kind of just filter that out, I mean, Game Pass is moving on to other platforms. So, like, Phil Spencer has said that Game Pass won't stay on Xbox. They even took Xbox out of the naming of it. So now it's just Game Pass, I believe.
And it's going to be on PC too?
It's already on PC, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's one of those things where he's not really trying... They're going to stop doing hardware at some point, like actual consoles. But it's all about that Xbox Game Pass. And that's
I think
fair.
that's great. Like, imagine, you go from playing Halo on your Xbox One, and then to play Halo Wars 2, you hop on PC. Because, like, Halo Wars 2 is an RTS game. RTS games are not meant to be played on console. It's very difficult to make a good RTS for console. And it's like, oh, it's all on Game Pass. Like, I can hop on, play Halo Wars 2 on my PC, play a fun RTS, and then I can hop back on for my first-person shooter on Xbox One. That's a cool model.
And one advantage that they have is they have that Xbox Play Anywhere, where if you buy it on like your Xbox, you can play it on your PC, and there's that cross-save compatibility there. It's where you're like, okay, I'm at home, I'm at my desk, at my studio, and I can play a PC game. I'll play a little bit of Halo multiplayer or something, rank up a little bit, have some fun, and then you're like, I'm bored, but I still want to play Halo, like my back hurts or whatever. You can go to your living room and get on your couch, turn on your Xbox, and pick up right where you left off, or even just play a campaign, and it'll all sync perfectly. I think that's
badass.
That's a huge advantage that Xbox has, because PlayStation is so scared of the PC market that they won't touch it. They just released, I think, Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, and that was bad. That was really bad.
They're very scared of that because that is a huge leg up Microsoft has, and I think they're just now at the beginning of implementing that and utilizing that, because essentially these consoles, I mean, they're never really going to get too expensive. Now PS5 is what, $500?
No price yet. Range is anywhere between 600 800, if I had to guess.
For PS5?
Yes.
600? Are you serious? You really think it'll be $600?
The PS3 was, yeah.
Holy fuck!
The PS3 was 600 during an economic collapse. So the fact that we're on another economic collapse, they're gonna have to make their money up. So yeah, I think they'll price it pretty egregiously. Same with Xbox though, because Series X is gonna be powerful. It's going to cost a lot of money.
That's the thing is, like, it's going to get to a certain point where I'd rather just buy a nice PC. If you dump in a couple $100 more on top of, let's say the Series X is $800, you put in an extra $400, you have like a legit baller PC that
And
can
then
do way more than the Series
and then
X
you
can.
can play all your Xbox games on that. That's that market they're
And you
trying to
can
get
do
in.
fucking work. You can do Microsoft Word. You can do video editing. You can be a YouTuber. Like you can do anything with a PC. With a Series X, you just play games. You know, and
Yeah.
for just a few hundred extra bucks, you can not only get a better system that can run more advanced graphics and that type of thing, and you can do more things with it. Um, and then they can start. You know, they already have controller compatibility for games that you play on your
Oh yeah.
PC.
And plus, like
So
the
I might just invest in a PC honestly because I'm
you
about
know,
to start making
and like
buck on
I know that the Xbox
yeah,
One controller will work on the Series X too. So they're trying to get this perfect ecosystem. You know how Apple has like their MacBooks and then their Macs and then their AirPods and their iPhones. They all sync together perfectly because they have that ecosystem where they
right.
all work together tangibly. And that's what Xbox is going for because they're not going to phase out the Xbox One S, not going to phase out the X. The Series X is going to be like the top dog, big dick baller of the Xbox family. Then they're also
Right.
going to have the Series S, which is also a thing. There's another Xbox console coming out soon that we just haven't heard about.
This is kind of similar to I can't remember what company did this, but somebody was it Alienware that got into the console space or who
Steam
was it?
machines. It was
Steam
Steam
Machines.
machines.
Thank you. Thank you. Steam Machines. Exactly. And
Yeah,
they kind
so
of had different models, right? Where like some were more expensive, some were cheaper.
so I actually know a lot about Steam machines. I've done a little bit of research into it. So it's
Okay.
perfect that you brought that up. So Steam machines worked in the sense of like if you have Steam, if you play on PC, you just have Steam. There's a thing called Big Picture mode, which is made so more so for like TVs, so you can use the interface with your controller. So what they would do is companies would take these desktop PCs and put them into a box with like their logo or whatever on it. So like
Okay.
Dell made some, Alienware made some, Razer made some, whatever, and they would sell them. The thing is, these didn't work. These didn't sell well because they were like $1,400. And it's like if I'm going to buy a desktop machine to play on my TV in my living room, I'm going to buy an Xbox or a PlayStation, which is considerably less money for games that play about the same. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why that
Right.
failed. It's almost impossible to break into the console market now because Sony and Microsoft are both. I know Xbox more so. Microsoft is $1 trillion company. They are insanely valuable. Sony less so. Sony's real main big division is PlayStation. Like if Microsoft wanted to, they could buy PlayStation, no problem. I can guarantee it. But they have no reason to. But yeah, it's just this ecosystem they're working on, and I think that might be their big leg up if they can really appeal to that. If they make like a less powerful system and sell it for like $200 less, make it like $400 instead of like 600, they win
Right.
automatically. I
Yeah.
think whatever happens, the cheapest will win. That's what happened last time. That's what happened the time before it.
That's a good point. Yeah, the PS3, it's like they were really advertising how the PS3 was more powerful than the 360. But at a certain point, people don't give a fuck, man. Like once you're asking people to pay that much money, they're just
And
like, this is too much.
and the PS3 wasn't even. It was more powerful, but the thing is, their CPU was so hard to like work with that most games ran worse on it. Like
Really?
Black Ops 3 was like 720p on Xbox 360, and then Black Ops on PS3 was like 540p.
Was it really?
It was bad. Yeah, no, it ran at a really low resolution, and that's also because COD has that really high frame rate that they always shoot for. So
Yeah.
you have to make some concessions there. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you make a console, you have to make it ease of access for the customers and for the developers. Otherwise, the developers will not take the time to work with your system. The Switch is different because the Switch actually uses PC architecture on it. It runs on an NVIDIA card, an NVIDIA Tegra, like a tablet. NVIDIA makes tablets that you can game on, and
Okay.
the Switch runs off that. So it's basically just like a super low-end PC. So it's pretty easy to scale down if you know what you're doing. That's why you've seen games like The Witcher 3 come out on Switch, and possibly you could see Arkham on the Switch at some point. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Me too.
And it's just one of those things. It's just you got to really work with developers, or else they're not going to work with you.
Yep.
And Sony has this issue with even their controller, where they have a lot of features on it that are fucking useless. Like the
Right.
microphone on the controller, the
Yeah.
stupid adaptive triggers, which sound neat, but also if that thing breaks, like your adaptive triggers, you're like, well, I'm gonna have to spend $80 to $90 to buy a new controller.
Right.
Meanwhile, Xbox, they just have this, and that'll be $60-$50. It's better for the consumer, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's where Xbox has the leg up.
Do you guys remember the Ouya?
Oh yeah, the Ouya was a failure.
Do you remember that, Marcel?
No, what the fuck?
It was like a little box thing, and all the games were free on it. And it was like they pitched it as basically you buy the Ouya, all the games are free. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin. Dustin will know way more about this than
So
me.
they
Sounds
were free.
familiar.
They were either free or they had a demo or trial. So
Got
some
it.
games you had to buy after you played the demo or trial, but most games were genuinely free, but they were mostly apps.
But they were mostly mobile games, like shit you would play on your Android, and they were basically just scaled up for TV. But I was just reading their Kickstarter page. One of the things they did promise on their Kickstarter is that all the games would be free, and as Dustin noted, that is not what ended up happening. You know, they ended up like the good games they made you pay for, even though their Kickstarter, which they raised $8 million for, said, "Oh yeah, all the games are free. You know, we're upending gaming market," and it kind of was like a pre-Game Pass type of model with the games. The console was how much was was it $100?
It was $100, $99.
$100, and it came with the controller, and
You
yeah,
could
I
use
mean,
other controllers on it too. So like you could use like a PS3 or 360 controller.
really?
Yeah, because the
Whoa,
Ouya
that's
controller
wild.
fucking sucked. I actually, my friend had one, and I've held the Ouya controller. It's bad.
And the button stick on it too, right?
Button stick. It feels like
Yeah.
a cheap third-party controller you'd buy for like your phone.
Right.
It's
right.
one of those things where it sucks. Yeah, that was a
But the
failure.
controller came with the $100.
Yes,
To be fair,
and
so
the
that's
console
why.
too.
Yeah.
And an HDMI cord and like a few other things like goodies. Who knows? But I think we learned from that $8 million is not enough money to make a console or anything worthwhile. I mean, that game was just an Android box. The Ouya was just an Android machine.
Yep.
It was a tablet that you just plugged into your TV, and that's all it was.
Yep. It just put mobile games on this big screen, you know, on your TV. That's all it did. You might as well get a fucking HDMI adapter, actually.
Or just don't play mobile games.
Yeah, right. Or just get a PlayStation. That's
Play
fine.
Arkham Underworld. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool deal. Do we want to cut it there? If you guys have another topic, then we can.
I think
Go
that's
with
good.
I think we're good. Yeah, cool guys. All right, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of the Anonymous Throwdown Podcast. I just checked. This was episode 13, actually. So
damn.
episode 12 was our last episode. So we will see you guys back here next Sunday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.